Welcome to episode 4 of Bball Pro Insider. This is the Candice Wiggins YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. So the Knicks played the Clippers yesterday, and that is why I'm bringing up the Clippers. When they face a bubble team, this is going to be a very important part of the program, I see, because the Clippers-Knicks game was the battle that was anticipated, and the outcome was amazing to see. And I would say this, besides losing the game, the Knicks played outstanding, save for the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter, but they played outstanding. So I suppose that's what we'll call the Clippers test. Moving forward, how teams look against the Clippers team. And I also think that there's a lot of other tests that coincide with just the Clippers test. And there's a lot of games today that will really highlight some of those tests that other teams bring as well across the league. So yesterday, the two teams that really jumped out were the Nuggets. The Nuggets moved up to fourth place, and they beat the Jazz. So they were able to kind of knock the Jazz down. That was a huge game because the Jazz were on an 11-game winning streak. But now the Nuggets are out of the bubble. So they have placed themselves in fourth place. I feel as though the Nuggets are going to stay solid in that position. And I think that the Nuggets will provide tests for teams who are trying to challenge them. With all that said, the Nuggets definitely did their homework, for sure, and that's why they're eligible for further commentary. The Raptors as well. They had a big win yesterday against the Magic, and the interesting thing to note about that game was Toronto and the Magic ended up switching positions. So now Toronto's in 10th place, and the Magic are in 12th place. Just one game overnight. The Raptors definitely did their homework and took care of business on the home floor, but obviously there's many more games, and these teams are going to see each other and going to keep clawing to get to that spot. All in all, I would say that what I saw from yesterday and my takeaway was that it's just a great wide open. Besides maybe the Clippers, arguably, I don't really see any team, any given day doesn't feel like there's any team that isn't vulnerable. And even the Clippers themselves are vulnerable, but I'd say it's a great wide open right now. And that's what makes today's lineups so exciting. So with that being said, let's just get right into it. Let's get right into today's matchups. I think that this is going to really set the narrative moving forward because up until this point we've had a kind of a baseline, but now I think there's going to be a lot of movement tonight. I predict that. And I don't necessarily know what the outcomes will be, but I do know that it will paint a new, fresh picture. So we're starting with the Lakers and the Hawks, and this is relevant because Atlanta's the sixth spot on the Eastern Conference. It's a non-conference opponent. I think that this is going to be a really exciting game to watch. I'm really anticipating this matchup, but I think that it mostly is something for the Lakers to build more stability as being a prominent team. And it's also something for Atlanta to see and measure themselves. Lakers test. Then we have the Suns Mavericks. Phoenix is in sixth spot in the West, and Dallas is at 13. But I think that, again, the Suns being sixth in the West, this is a kind of a must-win game for them. It's so wild, wild west, literally. So this game, I see it being reflecting that. The Hornets Heat, again, you guys know my favorite team right now, or trending, is the Charlotte Hornets, and they're playing the Heat. The Heat they came from the championship last year, so they still have that mindset even though they're in 13th place. Looking forward to seeing this game, how Charlotte, if they show their maturity as they progress and build momentum. Another great matchup is going to be the Knicks versus the Bulls. The Knicks are 9th place, Chicago 11th place. If you're following that storyline, you know that that's a really good rivalry for good reason. And now they're going to be looking to reposition themselves. So this is a huge win tonight. Also, the Bulls want to avenge that loss that they had to the Trailblazers. So I believe that they are going to be so determined and focused to complete games more. So you're going to see a complete game tonight with those two teams. Then that brings us to the Trailblazers versus the Bucks. Trailblazers are really looking to keep soaring. They're in 7th place currently in the West. So this game would be huge on two levels. It would allow them to have their stock rise in the West, but also show the Eastern Conference that they can cross over and do damage. Milwaukee is in 3rd place, and they're going to come and give Portland their best. Then the Kings Pelicans, and the Kings featured for the first time on this program. They're in 12th place, and the reason why that's important is because These 12 and 14 place teams, like New Orleans is in 14th place, they are no joke. When they go against each other, this is do or die time, really. When you're at this level, when you're at 12 and 14, there is really no room to go down as much as there is to go up. So they're going to take this opportunity against each other tonight. Then you've got the Rockets, Thunder, same situation, a little bit higher stakes. Houston's at 10, OKC's at 11, but let's just say wild, wild west time. And speaking of the wild, wild west, Grizzlies, Spurs rematch. So quickly we get this rematch. Memphis is at 5 right now, and San Antonio's in 9th. So they dropped very far to 9th place. But as you can see, in just one night, everything can change, especially in the Wild Wild West. All right, that is all the relevant games for today, and we'll continue this program tomorrow, so make sure you catch me then.